Thank you so much for running the board for us, Anthony, at the WEHC studios. I'm Joy Scruggs bringing you the play-by-play for today's basketball action. Alongside me, I'll let him introduce himself.
I'm Brandon Cox with you doing color.
And we have two games today on the slate. If you are tuning in to WEHC or if you are viewing on GoWasp.com, we have the men's game getting ready to tip off in just a second. And then the women's game will follow at 4:30. The men taking on Warren Wilson and the women taking on Queens from North Carolina at 4:30. As we get ready to give you the starting lineups, we'll pause for the national anthem. So welcome back again to men's basketball action this afternoon at the Bob Johnson Court in the John Rutledge King Center on the campus of Emory and Henry College. We'll get ready to give you the starting lineups. Brandon, how about introducing us to the visiting team from Warren Wilson?
Yes, the Owls have number 0, Saquon Bell, 6'4" freshman from New Bern. Number 2, DeMarco Jackson, a senior, 6'5" from Nashville. Number 3, Antonio Bonuelos, 6'2" freshman from Forest City, North Carolina. Number 10, Brent Davis, a senior, 6'3" from Charlotte, North Carolina. And number 15, Jerry Day, 6'5", sophomore from Valdez, North Carolina.
And the Owls are coached by Dominique Boone and assisted by Jacob Sinyo, I believe, maybe. Close enough, unless his mother's listening. I'm sorry we got that wrong. And now for your homestanding Emory and Henry Wasps, who enter the game at 0-1, having lost to Alice Lloyd on Friday night, 76-69, an exciting home court opening action here at the King Center. Starting at guard, a 5'11" sophomore from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. He had 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in Friday night's action. Number 2, Patrick Antonelli, a 6'2" senior playing guard from Simpsonville, South Carolina, with 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists in Friday night's action. Number 3, Micah Banks, a 6'3" junior playing guard forward from Concord, North Carolina, who had 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists in Friday night's action. Number 4, Malcolm Morgan, a 6'4" freshman from Lynchburg, Virginia, entering the starting lineup for the first time in the season, on only the second game, but nonetheless, with 9 points in Friday night's action, going 4 of 5 from the field. Number 5, Jalen Leftwich. And rounding out the lineup for the Wasp, a 6'8" freshman from Grundy, Virginia, with 18 points Friday night, going 9 of 16 from the field and 5 rebounds, including 4 offensive rebounds. Number 44, Cade Looney. Emory and Henry is coached by Ben Thompson in his 3rd season, assisted by Matt Spencer, Khalil Shaker, Rick Thompson, and student manager is Jordan Grant. The Owls enter the game as their first contest of the year. They played the other night against Atlantis University, but as their opponent is not accredited, the game doesn't count. They lost to Atlantis University 94-84, and there was no box score available, so we have no idea who did what in that game. These two teams played twice last year. Emory and Henry took advantage of both of those contests, and they played 2 days apart. They played on Tuesday, January the 9th. Emory and Henry walked away with a 96-77 victory in that contest, and on the following Thursday, Emory and Henry enjoyed a 109-66 thrashing of the visiting Owls. So Emory and Henry enters with an 0-1 record in this Food City Tip-Off Classic, looking to get on the positive side of the record as we go into the season. I remember the Warren Wilson Owls from last year. Those were the 2 games that Emory and Henry won. Emory and Henry's men in the COVID-shortened season last year really improved as the season went on, but they didn't get to taste the win column until those last 2 games against Warren Wilson. Emory and Henry will be playing in their yellow uniforms with navy numerals. Warren Wilson wearing navy uniforms with white numerals. Emory and Henry will be playing offense to your left on your radio dial. The officials for today's game are, well, see if I can find them on here, Ryan Christian, Jonathan Rumley, and Cody Bailey, as Looney gets ready to jump for the Wasps. And we're in action here, and the tap is controlled by the visiting Owls. Davis controls at top, being closely guarded by Antonelli. Emory and Henry playing man-to-man, and Owls sending cutters along the baseline. Now feed Day at the high post. Day takes on Looney. Looney gets a piece of that shot by Day and comes away with it for the Wasps, who come up in transition. Leftwich passes ahead to Antonelli on the left-hand wing, who tried to take a drive to the basket a little quicker than he could get the ball to the floor, and that'll be a turnover for the Wasps. Those of you that listened in or viewed last year will remind you that we're doing play-by-play in color for radio as well as for the stream. You'll remember number 15, Jerry Day, because I certainly do. He was an outstanding player last year. Ball on the wing now, taken off the dribble. Benzuelos dumps inside to Bell, and Bell puts it off the glass to have the first score of the afternoon as the Owls lead now by 2. A little full court pressure by the Owls, a 1-2-1-1 or diamond press. And Emory and Henry passes and breaks it, but it takes him 9 minutes off the shot clock. Ball on the left-hand wing to Banks, now back up top to Looney. He dribbles over, hands off to Leftwich, now up top to Morgan. Leftwich on the right-hand wing feeds down low to Looney, who tries to go up to his right and gets it swatted away, or a piece of it. He comes up short on that action. Davis playing point guard, passes left-hand wing to Bell. Bell to Jackson. No, that's Benzuelos. Short corner to Jackson. Jackson working against Morgan. Tries to take it up. Little baby hook, rolls around, no good. Banks flies in for the rebound for Emory and Henry and pushes the tempo up the court. Now gives it to Leftwich. Up top to Morgan. Back to Leftwich on the right. He makes a move, goes to the hoop, dumps it down low to Looney. I love that. Penetrate and dish. Draw the defense, find the post player. Left-hand block is where Looney feels like he's at home, at least from what I can tell by watching him play. Benzuelos now to the right-hand wing to Jackson. No, that's Jackson. Skipped around to the left-hand baseline. Now up top to, now they're just skipping around the perimeter, playing 4 guys out. Davis takes it in, tries to penetrate and pitch it back out to the perimeter, and that pass floats a little too high to be controlled by Jackson, and Emory and Henry picks it up off the turnover. 17:48 remaining in first half action. We're tied here at 2 as Leftwich takes it in as the point guard. Emory and Henry sets a screen. They slip a screen, then set a screen. Now pass to, oops, sorry. We lost a handle on the ball. Now Antonelli picks it up. Right-hand wing goes against the screen and passes it to Morgan. His three's too long. Emory and Henry battles for the rebound. Antonelli comes in, taps it. It goes out of bounds off of an Owl. And Emory and Henry gets possession under their basket with the reset 20-second shot clock. We're tied at 2. Emory and Henry setting up their baseline out-of-bounds offense. Antonelli with it in the corner, picks up his dribble. Now gets it to Banks at the top. Banks resets the offense, 12 on the shot clock. Morgan, Antonelli, left-hand wing. Shot clock counting down. Leftwich with it. Now he gives it to Banks, who's just going to heave up a shot, and that barely glances off the backboard. Pass ahead to the high post by the Owls, who kicked it to the corner to Davis, and Davis knocks down the 3. And Emory and Henry have the bad pass on the inbounds, and it just floats over to an Owl, and then Jerry Day is going to knock down the 3. So with 16:44 to play, Emory and Henry's sloppy play gives the Owls the 8-2 advantage in early action.
Support for WEAC and Emory and Henry Walls basketball comes proudly from Tom Graham and Kyle King of Edward Jones Investments, 126 East Main Street, Marion. Learn what investing can do for you. 276-783-4448 or edwardjones.com. Edward Jones member SIPC.
So Emory and Henry in early action. Let's see if I can find the stats I'm looking for. Not those. Yeah, with 2 turnovers, but they seem to be costly turnovers. And Emory and Henry sent in a bunch of subs there. See if you can catch us up on those in a minute as we've returned to play here.
Yes. One of them being Gabe Brown, Kevin Rodriguez, number 0, number 14, Corey Keene, number 13, Jake
Monahan. And 42, Dylan Ketron. Yeah, so 5 subs came in here. See if we can freshen this up a little bit. Going against this full court pressure. Skip pass across. Now we get across the half court line. Try to feed Keene at the top of the key, and it's a sloppy pass, and the Owls come away with it, and in transition, draw the foul.
Emory and Henry had 14 turnovers last game. Look like they're starting off with 3 right now in the first half.
In the first 3.5 minutes. So that foul's on Rodriguez. That's his first, team first. And that sends Brent Davis to the free throw line. Davis, a 6'3" senior from Charlotte. And the first one is good, and the Owls stretch out their lead to 7. And second shot is drained by Davis. Emory and Henry trying to get organized against this full court pressure that's really token pressure. I mean, they're just backing up. They don't really strongly trapped anything, but we've passed it cross court back and forth. We got it down the floor. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Ball screen up top as the ball by Rodriguez. Now with Keene on the right-hand wing. We're just standing. Shot clock counting down. Rodriguez tries to get inside, does. Euro step, puts it up, and draws the foul.
Yeah, Rodriguez didn't have such a good game last game. 1 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from the 3.
Let's see if he can get on the scoreboard here with some chances from the free throw line. We just are out of sync today, aren't we? Their full court pressure is not in-your-face pressure. You know, they just sort of back up their little zone press, and that first shot by Rodriguez is good.
And they're really closing in on the middle, making sure that entry pass doesn't get in there.
Oh. So the officials are calling a media timeout between his free throws, which seems like to me a disadvantage, but that's, I guess, when the media timeout at or under 16 and there's a dead ball situation, so they've called a media timeout here. So sends Rodriguez to the bench to think about his second free throw.
Warren Wilson got it out to the break, 5 points. 7 points off of turnovers. Definitely capitalizing.
So Emory and Henry scored first on Cade Looney's layup with 18-16 in to play in this half, and this free throw by Rodriguez is the first time we've scored since. .16 to play, first half action. Emory and Henry trails by 7. Rodriguez slices that to 6. 4-10, Emory and Henry trails. And here comes Brent Davis. Emory and Henry switched up defense too. Now they're playing a zone with half court, picking up at the half court line. See if we can get Warren Wilson a little out of sync. Yep, a lot more activity, a lot more energy on defense. 9 on the shot clock, and they've barely gotten it past the top of the key. Down low, try to kick it out. It's deflected, picked up by the Wasps. Picked it up before the shot clock violation. That was excellent defensive energy by Emory and Henry. Rodriguez gets past a defender in the backcourt, takes it in, pull-up jumper in the middle of the lane, bounces around the rim and falls. Great call by Coach Thompson to do something defensively to get us cranked up. So Gabe Brown playing the top of this zone defense. It picks up at half court, and he's making the passing lanes miserable for the Owls. Pull-up jumper's no good by Benuelos, and Emory and Henry comes away with it, doesn't have anything in transition. Rodriguez penetrates, get past his defender, kicks it out. That three's on the way by Brown, and Brown, the 6'5" freshman from Clintwood, drains the three, and Emory and Henry draws within 1. So in a minute and 12 seconds, Emory and Henry scored 7 points and closed this margin to 1 as they trail 9-10 with 14:48 to play in first half action.
The food specialist bringing you quality, price, satisfaction, founded in a small rural area to serve friends and neighbors. Food Country has evolved to serve Southwest Virginia, East Tennessee. Locally owned and operated. Your money stays in your community. Food Country is proud to support Emory and Henry Wasp basketball on WAC 90.7 FM. So
Gabe Brown, who went to Ridgewood High School, a relatively new high school in the area, left there as their all-time leading scorer, valedictorian as well. He looked like a good student when he knocked down that three, didn't he, Brandon?
Sure did.
He looked like a straight-A valedictorian to me as that three went straight through the bottom of the net. I'd like to hear his speech about that, wouldn't you?
I would.
So Emory and Henry playing this half-court trapping defense in the passing lanes and causing all kinds of pressure problems for the Owls. They got the ball inside, lost it again. That's 2 turnovers and 2 possessions, and Brown gets it in transition and scores it. Now Coach Thompson calling out something on defense. Again, Day with the ball up top. They're stretching it out. He's got a tall, quick lineup in on defense, and Day's three-point shot won't fall. Ketron battles, comes away with the rebound, brings it out. He's going to take it down. That makes a coach's heart stop to watch a 6'8" guy dribble down the floor. And Ketron tries to take it in, and he's going to get called for the charge. But Emory and Henry with the lead now, 11-10 with 14:04 to play.
That's the freshman, Cade Looney, coming back in.
Who's he taking? Whose place he taking? Ketron. Somebody's got to come off the floor. That was Ketron's first foul, team's second.
Emory and Henry out rebounding.
So Davis, they're trying to play a 2-2-1 kind of offense, or 4 on the perimeter, sending somebody through the lane. But basically they're just passing around the perimeter. Now it's in the left-hand baseline. He tries to make a move, drives baseline and dumps it into the middle. I don't have a 14 on my lineup. Do you for them? That was number 14, whoever that is.
I'll have 14 on my lineup.
Yep. Let's see what it says in here. Adonis King, to add that down there. Emory and Henry now trying to make something happen. Looks like the Owls are playing a zone. Now Brown, why not just take it? So Gabe Brown, we're just passing around the perimeter against their zone too. Well, why not just take the three if you're going to be the valedictorian and knock it down?
Why not?
I'm voting for him for class president too. So Brown now goes to the free throw line.
That's the 1,000-point scorer. 53rd ranked player in the DMV hoop.
So there he goes. He knocks it down. That's 9 points for Brown in limited. You know, he's been playing, 3 minutes at the most? 13-12. Emory and Henry leads 15-12. Again, this looks like a 1-3-1 zone here with playing the passing lanes. They're able to get it to the high post, swing around the perimeter. There goes Day. And that's 3 for him to tie it up at 15, 12:53 remaining. Jerry Day from the left-hand baseline, and now the Owls play in a little zone here. Emory and Henry with the ball down low, gives it to a cutter. He puts it up, bangs around, won't go. Jake Monahan won't get it to fall. Emory and Henry battles for the rebound and gets called for the foul. Is that Rodriguez? Nope, that's on them. I thought he pointed it was going to go that way. And that's what he did, and that means it's not our ball, but he changed his mind, and I always like it if they change it in our favor. Emory and Henry are underneath their basket. Gabe Brown, just go ahead, Gabe.
That's another one.
And he draws a foul on his three-point shot. 12:31 left in first half action here. We're tied at 15. Brown with the chance to shoot 3. The slow three-point play.
Didn't give him no chance to land.
So there's a first free throw is up and good. That foul was on Jacob Jackson. That's his first, team second. Let's put number 14 on here in case he plays some more.
It's 11.
Did he miss one?
So he missed one.
So he missed the second, I thought he would be automatic, so I quit watching. 17-15, Emory and Henry now leads by 2, 12:24 to play, playing a 1-3-1, half-court pressure, passing lanes. All the Owls can do is pass around the perimeter. Day gets inside of it, kicks it back out. That floater by Jackson's no good. He tracks down his rebound, gets it back to Day, now switches it over to the right-hand wing to Jackson. Skip all the way across the lane to Davis. Davis drives inside, and he draws the foul. So the way the Wasps are playing defense, it's aggressive. It's taking away the passing lanes. You got to get the ball inside somehow against that kind of defense, or you have no chance of scoring except for just jacking up an outside shot that you don't have. So they've been able to get it off the dribble a little bit or feed the high post, but mostly drive and dish. And the first shot up by Davis is good. Emory and Henry's lead is 17-16. Davis has a chance to tie it up as we have 12:02 remaining in first half action.
The 6'5" senior Tyler Arnold comes in.
So he does hit that second one and tie it up. And the Owls are going to retreat to half-court defense. No more full-court pressure. But they're playing... Looks like they're playing a 1-2-2. And Coach Thompson calling out some offense called Rover X, I believe it was. Rodriguez with the ball up here. Finds a cutter. Oh, he tries to feed Keene at the high post, gets batted away, and here come the Owls in transition. Jackson dribbles it down in, feeds it up top to Day, and the shot by Jackson is no good. Emory and Henry with the rebound. Rodriguez in transition. Oh, that's a charge. Oh, they called a block. I thought he knocked him down with his forearm, but I won't complain because I'm pulling for the Wasps. So Rodriguez tries to take the ball off the dribble and is being guarded by Banuelos. And I thought he forearmed him to the ground, but maybe he wasn't in position. So Emory and Henry will have the ball out of bounds after this timeout. What you got for us, Brandon? Who's doing what?
Well, which I got for you, Gabe Brown. Perfect from the field, 11 points. 3 for 3 from the field, 2 for 2 from the 3. We got Kevin Rodriguez, 4 points, 2 assists, and Cade Looney, 2 points and 1 rebound. And for Warren Wilson, their leading scorer, Chris Carroll, 7 points, 2 rebounds. Antonio Ledbetter, 3 points. Day Jerry, 3 points, 2 assists. And Saquon Bell and Adonis King with 2 apiece.
Well, Emory and Henry shooting 56% from the floor doesn't hurt. And it helps make up for their 5 turnovers. And they're 2 of 4 from 3, which is so much better than we were in the entire game the other night. And any segment of the game you wanted to take, we were cold, especially when the game was on the line. So tied at 17, 11-32. 11:32 to play in the first half action as Emory has the ball on the sideline on their offensive end with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Rodriguez finds Tyler Arnold, now back up top to Rodriguez, closely guarded. Looks like they're playing a little man-to-man now. Rodriguez is able to step through the defense, put it up off the glass, and score it. 19-17, Emory and Henry leads. 11-12. Emory and Henry looks like they're playing man-to-man now. They are half-court man. What was that call? Did he walk?
I think he stepped out of bounds.
Oh, he stepped out of bounds here. I couldn't see for the bench and the other people there. So Emory and Henry playing playing half-court man-to-man on that possession. But their change of defense changed the whole momentum of this game when we played that half-court passing lane 1-3-1.
Malcolm Morgan comes in, Leftwich comes in, and Banks comes in.
Arnold with the ball working the right-hand wing, now feeds it over to Morgan, back to Banks at the top. Leftwich dribbles in, doesn't have it, back to Arnold. Arnold's 3 on the way, no good. Rebound, though, by Morgan, puts it back up, scores it. 21-17, 4-point leads Emory's largest lead of the game with 10:33 remaining in first half action. Emory and Henry picking up full court now as Morgan is guarding Davis, bringing the ball down the court.
Yeah, Morgan had 7 rebounds last game.
Kaiser with the ball, now back up top to King. King tries to take it in. It's tapped away by Morgan. Pass ahead to Leftwich. The assist by Tyler Arnold in transition. Emory and Henry stretches the lead to 6 halfway through this first half of action at Emory and Henry, and the timeout's taken on the floor. That's a huge swing, being up by 6 when we were down by, were we down by 7 at one point? I know we were down. Well, nonetheless, we were down, now we're up. That's the main, that's the main detail that you need to know right here. We're here to tell you everything you need to know.
We're down by 8.
Yep, and now we lead by 6. So coming out of timeout, Antonelli enters the Emory and Henry lineup, playing with Leftwich, Arnold, Banks, and Morgan. Shorter lineup here than what we had. You know, we had in a pretty lengthy lineup when we were playing that passing lane zone. Now we're playing pressure man-to-man. And Davis tried to take it in, playing against Antonelli. Got it tapped away, pass ahead to Tyler Arnold. Good in transition. Emory and Henry stretches the lead to 8, largest of the evening, 25-17. Well, let's call it the afternoon. Let's call it what it is. 9:45, Davis being guarded by Antonelli. Cutters across the baseline, now in the corner to Banuelos. Back up top to Day. Day tries to operate that little fall-away jumper. He's deadly on that. And that's 2 for Jerry Day as Emory and Henry's lead gets sliced 25-19. Leftwich, ball up top, being guarded by Benuelos. Now to Morgan on the right-hand baseline. He takes it in, kicks it out to Banks. Banks 3 on the way, bangs off too hard. Antonelli's there for the rebound, finds Arnold up top. Antonelli all alone, puts up the 3, no good, and rebound taken away by the Owls. Jackson with the ball picks up his dribble, passes ahead to Day, who gets past Arnold, who was guarding him, and as he got picked up, is that foul going to be him? Antonelli. That's his first, team third. So more than half. It's been a pretty clean game if we're more than halfway through the first period. And Emory and Henry, that's our 4th team foul, I thought so. And they 5 for the Owls. So Emory and Henry, fresh 20 on the shot clock, has the ball out of bounds. Oh, wait, the Owls have the ball out of bounds underneath their basket. Don't turn me around. Day takes it off the dribble. Oh, he dumps behind the back. Down low to Kaiser. Pretty pass, but it gets deflected by Emory and Henry. Oh, man, acrobatic take to the basket by Banks. It won't fall in, but Leftwich is there just to tap it right back in. And Emory and Henry's lead is 8:30 to play. All right, we have no 33 on our there's 33 in there playing, and we have no 33 on our roster. Let's see who that is. Zachary Bassett. Emory and Henry walks it down, leading by 8:19 to play. Arnold with the ball up top, gives it to Antonelli. Left-hand wing to Leftwich, back to Antonelli at top, swings it over to Arnold. Arnold for 3 from the corner, no good. Rebound banged for, tapped by a lot of people, but it ends up at Jacob Jackson. And Jackson brings it down, pulls it back out, can't get inside, picks up his dribble at the high post. Handoff high post, that's Kaiser. He kicks it back out to Day. Day tries to take Morgan. Can't get anything there, gives it up to Bell. Bell down low. That's Jackson. Oh, I thought he walked. That little floating hook won't fall, and Emory and Henry comes away with the rebound. Leftwich tries to take it inside. He gets it tapped away. 7.5 to play. Emory and Henry leads by 8. Kick outside to the person whose name is not on the roster, Bassett. Anyway, tapped away. Foul on Rodriguez. Oh, no, it's on them. Sorry. On Bell, his first, team 6th. So 7:19 remaining in first half action. Emory and Henry enjoying an 8-point lead after trailing early on by 8, 27-19.
Yeah, and Emory and Henry is outscoring Warren Wilson in the paint, 16 to 6 margin in the points in the paint.
And remind me not to talk about how good the three-point shooting is, because now we're just 2 of 7. We've missed the last 3, so we're shooting a dismal 28% or 29%. Warren Wilson 3 of 5 from 3. While our early turnovers hurt us, Warren Wilson's the one that's been turning the ball over most of late with 7 turnovers in 13 minutes, less than 13 minutes.
How about that bench production? 19 and 2.
Yep. Emory and Henry sent in 5 subs at one point, and, man, they made a difference. And, well, of course, how many of those points are Gabe Brown? 11. So Leftwich brings it up. 2-3 zone by the Owls here as Coach Thompson calls out an offense. Ball on the right-hand wing to Antonelli. He penetrates, kicks it, skips it across the court. Now back up top to Leftwich. Antonelli, right wing, tries to feed it inside to Morgan, gets tapped away. Shot clock counting down. We tied up. Possession error is going to favor us, but there's 6 on the shot clock. So sideline out of bounds, 6:54 remaining in the half, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Emory and Henry's and the Owls are just playing a 2-3 zone here and standing back and waiting. And now the officials are going to blow the whistle. Maybe they didn't like the play we had set up. They were going to give us a better chance. So they're resetting the shot clock? Okay, no. Back to 6. There we go. I thought that was a nice gift if they were going to give us 24 seconds added to the 6. Leftwich with the ball against the zone. Gets it to Antonelli, who tries to go off the dribble. Wait.
Shot clock again.
Well, you can't stop where we were and give us less seconds. Go back to 6 and make us start again if they didn't start it. But anyway, now we're at 3 seconds on the shot clock. I hope somebody knows they're the shooter if they catch it. Antonelli does know that. He puts it up. Man, it goes a third of the way down. Wouldn't go. In transition, here comes Kaiser. No good. Rebound by Banks. Banks streaking out in transition. He's got guys with him, but why not just take it yourself? 29-19. Emory and Henry now by 10. Largest lead with 6.5 to play in the first half. Ball picked away by Antonelli as Jackson was just bringing it down the court. Antonelli just robbed him in his face. I was going to say gun point or knife point or whatever point, but he was unarmed. Well, I guess he had 2 arms, but nonetheless. Steal by Antonelli puts Emory and Henry up by 12 with his layup. 31-19, 6:20 remaining in first half action.
And he had 2 steals last game, but here.
Yeah, I don't know where you find it on. I don't know where you find it on this. The stats we get during the game don't have individuals for steals on them, so I don't know. Yeah, but Emory and Henry's played, a couple of different kinds of defense here today, haven't they, Brandon?
They have. A little bit of zone, a little bit of man, and they've really been disrupting the Warren Wilson shooting. They're only shooting 37% from the field, 6 of 16. They're doing a lot better.
So Emory and Henry will be, after that timeout by Warren Wilson, Emory and Henry on defense. Let's see that we have on the floor Leftwich, Cade Looney's returned, Anthony Williams in action, and Emory and Henry back to playing this trapping zone defense. Ball at the top with Jet Day, skips it to the left-hand wing. Back up top. That's no good. Shot by Banuelos, no good, but the Owls get the rebound. Jerry Day finds, who is that? Finds Davis in the right-hand corner. His 3 is good. 31-22, Emory and Henry leads. 5:48 first half action. Morgan gets inside, skips it over left-hand baseline to Antonelli. Shot up by Leftwich at the top, no good. He gets his own rebound. His floater's no good, gets his own rebound. Steps out with it. Now we swing it around. Morgan with it, kicks it up to Leftwich at top. He spins, kicks out to Anthony Williams. Long 3, no good. Rebound battled for, and Davis comes away with it for the Owls. Davis hesitates, goes in, and he draws the foul from Leftwich.
Leftwich with 4 rebounds and 4 points. Brown comes back in for Leftwich.
So that's Leftwich first foul, team's 5th, 5:20 remaining, 31-22. Out of bounds underneath their basket, 25 on the shot clock, and Emory and Henry playing man-to-man with the ball up top. That's King over here to Banuelos. Now over to Davis. Davis pull-up jumper at the top of the key, no good. Rebound by Anthony Williams. Up ahead to Antonelli. Pass over to Gabe Brown. Gabe Brown, valedictorian.
Can't miss.
I want to hear a speech. Davis bringing it up, being guarded by Brown. Jerry Day with it, being switched up on Looney. He penetrates, kicks it out. Now it's back at the top at Day. His pocket almost got picked by Antonelli, but he gets it back. Banuelos with the ball. Now gives it on the wing. Day on the fall-away jumper as the shot clock counts down. Can't hit it. Antonelli comes away with the rebound. Penetrate, kicks it out to Morgan. Morgan back to Antonelli at the top. Now we're going to set something up. Maybe not. Antonelli steps inside. I thought he walked. Antonelli back with it. 15 on the shot clock. Up comes Looney for the screen. Nope, we're not going to do it. Morgan drives the baseline, reverse layup.
Nice
and
move.
That looked like it almost looked like a granny shot, didn't it? Like an underhanded, scoop shot. Nonetheless, it goes in. I don't care what it looks like. 36-22, Emory Henry's 14-point lead. 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in first half action. Davis goes off a couple of screens for the Owls at the top of the key. Can't get it to fall, and on that rebound, Anthony Davis draws the foul. That foul is on, I think they said 14. Oh, that's Adonis King, one of the non-roster players playing today. So we're at timeout now with 3:42 remaining in first half action. Emory and Henry leads by 14, 36-22. And who is the spotlight shining on for the Wasps today, Brandon?
Gabe Brown. Just can't not miss.
I'm knocking on wood or fake wood or whatever this table's made out of just because you're trying to jinx it. Well, I set you up for it. But he leads all scores.
14.
Okay, so we've been calling number 10 Brent Davis. On their thing it says Chris Carroll. I guess that's who that is. I guess I'll change that name. Sorry, Chris Carroll's mom and dad, if you're listening. And we've been calling him Brent Davis. I don't know. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's Gabe Brown that's been, for us, that's been hitting all those shots. Yep. Been a pretty clean game. We haven't been to the free throw line. We got fouled twice on three-point shots, I thought, as I recall. But other than that, the Owls have been 4 times. We're getting ready to go here for our 7th and 8th trip to the free throw line.
And the only 3 out of 11 threes we made came from Gabe Brown.
Oh, so we're at 1-1. I forget the men still do 1-1. So Anthony Williams' first shot is up and good. 3:42 remaining. Emory and Henry leads now by 15. We have 5 team fouls. The Owls now we're in the bonus because the Owls have 7. And second free throw by Anthony Williams is also good. 38-22, Emory and Henry leads. Ball up top to Carroll. Carroll being guarded by Williams. Now back over to King. Off the dribble goes Banuelos. His shot when he tried to hit a cutting King on the backdoor cut goes into the mat out of bounds, but it was deflected by Emory and Henry, so the officials say. So 13 on the shot clock. The Owls have the ball underneath their basket as Ketron comes in replacing Looney. Emory and Henry playing zone and trapping out of that baseline out of bounds. Inbounder gets it on the opposite baseline. That's Carroll or Davis. Jackson. And Owls unaware of the shot clock situation, playing offense, passing around and looking for an opening, get called for the shot clock violation. Absolutely no hurry whatsoever. 3:05 remaining. Emory and Henry on offense against man-to-man defense. Antonelli goes off a ball screen by Ketron, gives it to Anthony Williams. Anthony Williams fights his way inside and up at the left-hand block and draws the foul. Well, just like me talking about we haven't been to the free throw line, we go twice now in the last 45 seconds. 3:59 remaining first half, 38-22. Anthony Williams with a chance to stretch that lead. First one's up and good.
Williams, a 80% free throw shooter. Knock on wood for that one.
Yep.
And that is Jake Thacker checking in.
So Williams with a second shot here. And drains that one as well. 40-22. Emory and Henry stretches this to an 18-point lead after trailing by 8. Thacker playing defense on Carroll. Jackson tries to hit a backdoor cutting Jerry Day, and it goes off of Day, and Emory and Henry will have the ball. Under 3, 18-point lead for the Wasps. Thacker with the ball up top, trying to set up the offense. Anthony Williams, left-hand wing. Oops, loses the handle on it, but Thacker's there to pick it up for him. He gets inside, Euro step, floats it up, lays it up. I wasn't sure that was going to get over the rim. And somehow or another, gravity was defied, and it went up over the rim and dropped in. First points of the career at Emory and Henry for Thacker, if I'm correct. 42-22, 20-point Emory lead with just over 2 minutes remaining. Day picks up his dribble, being guarded by Ketron. Dumps over here to Carroll. Now back up top to Jackson. Down low to Bell. Bell can't get anything going. Up top to Carroll. Now to Day. 5 on the shot clock. Day's going to have to do something. He just does a little step back move and doesn't get anything. And out comes Thacker with it in transition. He hits Brown. Gabe Brown has a little fire going over there on the right-hand wing where he has heated it up. The floor is scorched. And now in trying to penetrate and kick back out, pitch back out on the perimeter, Emory and Henry picks up the turnover. And there goes Thacker all the way to the rim. 47-22, Emory and Henry with under a minute and a half remaining in first half action, stretches it to 25. And Emory and Henry's bench is the one getting the excitement going here as the Owls just pass around the perimeter looking for a cutter stepping out. And Banuelos' 3 doesn't hit anything. Under a minute remaining, Thacker brings it up in transition. He gives it to Williams, left-hand wing. Williams waits on Ketron, goes away from the screen, now back and goes over it and shoots behind the screen. Williams' 3's no good. And Day comes away with the rebound for the Owls. Pass way ahead to Bell. We were kind of napping there on defense. Ketron was there, but they were hoping to catch us totally asleep, and Ketron's going to get called for the foul there. 25-point lead, 36 seconds remaining. Owls with the ball underneath their basket, and in comes a gob of subs for Emory and Henry.
Warren Wilson shooting 30% in defense.
Bell with the ball, left-hand baseline. Skips it all the way across to, I don't know who that was. And Bell misses the shot. Thacker comes away with it. He tries to get all the way inside, and that's not going to work the second time. 16 and a half seconds remaining, first half action. Emory and Henry with the ball underneath their basket. Connor Othett puts up the long 3, bounces off, no good. And Banuelos scores it with 5 seconds remaining in the first half for the Owls. Thacker puts up the heave at half court, and at halftime as the buzzer, it's no good. So at 20 minutes of action, Emory and Henry rises up from an 8-point deficit to take a 23-point halftime advantage into the locker room against the visiting Owls from Warren Wilson. We're going to send it back to the studio to Anthony Smith and come back about 3 minutes before second half action. We'll review the stats and what has happened here at the Bob Johnson Court. But let's just say what has happened here has been a good day for the Wasps so far. Back to you, Anthony. Thank you. Back to Bob Johnson Court in the John Rutledge King Center on the campus of Emory and Henry College for second half action of today's contest between the Emory and Henry men against the visiting Owls of Warren Wilson. I'm Joy Scruggs here. Alongside me is Brandon Cox. Brandon, what do you got from what insight do you have for our listener viewers from the first half of action?
Well, if you weren't tuned in for the first half, you sure enough missed a lights-out performance from Gabe Brown, 14. Nothing else on the stat line, but 14, sharpshooter. Rodriguez was 6 points, 2 assists. Malcolm Morgan trying to fill up the stat sheet with 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And Jalen Leftwich, the combo guard, with 4 points and 4 rebounds. And Emory and Henry's bench production and points in the paint were probably the most outstanding, and total rebounds was the most outstanding thing probably here on the stat line.
Yeah, we've outscored their bench 33-2, 26-8 for point paints, and let's see, what's the total rebounds? 22-11. Well, to begin the game, too, we had 2 turnovers. We were playing at such low energy level. And I don't know if that's what happened, but Coach Thompson sent in 5 subs and switched his defense to that, playing the, passing lane, zone, half-court pressure, 1-3-1, and a fire got lit in here, did it not?
It did.
And the defense picked up everything from there. That energy fed everything else, and we went from those 2 early turnovers to only having 4 more in the remainder of the first half of action, and the Owls now with 11 turnovers through a variety of defensive changes. No full court defense for the Wasps at this point, except picking up the ball handler full court. And a lot of Wasps have seen action so far this afternoon. Let's see. And I expect to see even more of that in the second half, don't you? More players from Emory and Henry getting into some action here. So as clock winds down here and we're getting ready to begin second half action, Emory and Henry enjoys the 23-point lead, 47-24 over the Owls from Warren Wilson. The main scorer for the Owls has been Chris Carroll, number 10, who I called Brent Davis for most of the first half because the lineup we have was incorrect by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players. So those of you who may be listening and know somebody from Warren Wilson or watching in the live stream, we apologize, but the roster that we had was incorrect. And I'll probably make more mistakes in the second half, but it won't be because I have the wrong roster again. So as we start action here in the second half, Warren Wilson will have the ball to begin second half action. On the court for Emory and Henry will be Banks, number 3, Cade Looney, number 44, number 13, Jake Monahan, number 5, Jalen Leftwich, and number 4, Malcolm Morgan. For the Owls, number 3, Banuelos, number 15, Jerry Day, 11, Jacob Jackson, 0, Saquon Bell, and number 10, Chris Carroll, who I've called Brent Davis. Carroll with the ball now being guarded by Morgan. Emory and Henry in half-court man. No, maybe not. No, we're playing some kind of trapping something. Ball in the left baseline, and Emory and Henry traps it. And the foul's going to be called on Leftwich in that trap. I always told my players, the officials feel sorry for the offensive player in the trap. So don't give them a chance to call the foul on you because they feel sorry for them. Ball out of bounds by Carroll. Inbounded and deflected away by Morgan and up ahead, but Leftwich back to Morgan. Layup good. Emory and Henry now stretches the lead to 25. And Coach Thompson calling out the defense.
That's Morgan's 6 point.
Banuelos at top. We're playing some sort of zone something. Jerry Day now swinging around the perimeter. No, we're playing man. We may be just jumping into some traps here and there. Bell with the ball up top, right-hand baseline to Carroll. low post to Bell, and then he dumps it out to Jackson, and Jackson steps out of bounds with it. Less than a minute into the second half, and Warren Wilson with another turnover, 2 turnovers. Henry, oh, now Warren Wilson playing a zone here. Using the high post there, flash and cutters there, swinging around the perimeter. Morgan's three's no good, rebound by the Owls. That's Bell with the rebound. Banuelos brings it up, being guarded by Leftwich. Left-hand wing to Day. No, that was Jackson. Up top to Carroll. Carroll goes off the ball screen by Bell. Nothing there. Goes back across. He goes off 2 screens at the high post. Still nothing. Picks it up. Nothing. Hands it off. Now Day with his top shot clock at 4. Day, he can't handle it. Gets tapped away. Looney with it. He passes ahead to Leftwich. Leftwich stops his dribble and gets run over by a Warren Wilson player. I think he raised his hand with an open hand, so that indicates it would be a violation and not a foul. So I think he must have walked with it in that attempt to stop before the contact was made. Although officials would sometimes get my hopes up by raising an open fist, and it would really be a foul. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but I think it's a turnover on the Wasps. What are your thoughts on that, Brandon?
I believe so too. Turnover going the other way.
Now, who is that injured player? Is that Day?
I think, yeah.
Number 15.
Number 15.
Jerry Day shaking up on the play. He's being attended by the trainers. So Leftwich came down. Looney ended up with the ball, dribbled a couple of dribbles, and then fed Leftwich. And Leftwich was being guarded by 2 defenders. He tried to do a jump stop, and one of the defenders rolled over his back and then hit the floor pretty hard. I think the officials are going to call that Leftwich didn't come to a complete or legal jump stop on that, and that turnover will be credited to Emory and Henry. So we're stopped play here, 18-17 remaining in the first half. 49-25 is the Emory and Henry advantage. Let's give you a little bit of news from Emory and Henry Athletics. If you weren't paying attention, you've been under a rock for the entire football season. Devontae Jordan from Bassett, Virginia, had a record-breaking season, setting 9 school records, including season rushing attempts, yardage, scoring, total touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, 100-yard games, game total touchdowns. He had 6 in a game. Game rushing touchdowns, he had 5 in a game. Anyway, if the record book just had his name, it's pretty much going to be right. He and Ivan Phillips and Cameron Jones were all named to the ECAC Division II Player of the Month for awards for October. And the ECAC is an organization that Emory and Henry is a part of in their transition period between Division II and Division III. So we're back to play here now, as Warren Wilson has the ball, so it would have been a turnover there. And that is Carroll with it, passes over to Banuelos, back to Bell at the top of the key. Now Carroll hands it over. Oh, right-hand wing tries to get it back to Carroll at the top, and it's taken away by Morgan, who lays it up ahead for Leftwich, whose layup is good, and Emory and Henry leads 51-24. It's hard to believe we ever trailed in this game, isn't it? So passing lane defense has been great for Emory and Henry. Carroll puts up a long 3, no good. Bell battles for the rebound. They're going to call a foul on the floor there.
44, Cade Looney.
So that foul's on Looney, his first, team second of this period, final period of the game.
Henry has 9 steals.
And that's King taking it inside, back out to DeMarcus Jackson. He loses it off his foot. And Emory and Henry gets it on the turnover, so there's another turnover. Is that 14 now for them?
That's 15.
15 turnovers. less than 23 minutes of play. Leftwich with the ball at top, looks at the zone, goes off a screen, steps inside, has nothing, lays it out, gets picked up. Banks has it back to Leftwich. Monahan with it at the high post. He's double teamed, gets it taken away by Bell. Bell passes up ahead, and then it's laid out for Banuelos, whose layup is good. 51-26, 17 minutes remaining. Leftwich, right-hand wing to Banks. Almost lost that handle on that one. Left hand to Morgan. Morgan steps inside. His little fall away won't fall. Rebound, stick back by Looney, no good, but he draws the foul.
If I'm coach, I'm loving Looney.
Yeah, that big body, that big smart body down low. He was probably valedictorian too, I bet.
Looney has 2 rebounds so far in the game.
So Looney at the free throw line. First shot is good. 51-26 stretches to 52. 16-48. And Looney's second shot's too strong, taken away out by Carroll. Carroll gets it down low to King. King drives all the way in reverse layup. Good for King. 52-28. And Warren Wilson calls timeout ahead of the media break, which was coming in a few seconds. You want to get the underwriters? Oh, sorry.
Support for WEHC and ENH Wasp basketball comes from People Incorporated. Believing that every person needs support from others, People Incorporated promotes the dignity of individuals and families, moves people into the economic mainstream, and works to develop existing strengths and resources within communities. For information about assistance within community development, education, employment training, family services, financial services, or housing, contact 276-623-9000. Again, contact 276-623-9000 or peopleinc.net. All of the efforts of People Incorporated are directed by the concerns, hopes, needs, and dreams of the people served. Emory and Henry Basketball is brought to you with support by First Bank and Trust, offering mobile banking, Apple Pay, remote deposits, and more, serving you with free checking since 1979, member FDIC, and on the web at firstbank.com.
Well, the turnovers just keep growing for the Owls, and their shooting percentage keeps dropping, and the points just keep racking up for the Wasps. So it looks like the Owls now coming out of this timeout are going to pick up full court, man-to-man. Banks brings it up, being guarded by Jackson. He gives it, oh, that was Morgan, gives it up to Banks. Banks goes off a ball screen by Looney. Banks loses it, gets to the floor, finds a cutting Morgan, who hits Leftwich on the right-hand wing, and Leftwich floater off the backboard is good. 54-28, 16-10 remaining, second half action. Emory and Henry is enjoying the afternoon.
That's 8 points for Leftwich.
So man-to-man defense here, just switching everything. Carroll pulls it up and dumps it over to Bell at the high post, and Bell drains the little jumper from the elbow. 54-30, 24-point lead, under 16 to play. Morgan running the point, Emory and Henry in a 1-4 high set. Cutter goes through. Leftwich penetrates, kicks out for three by Banks. It's not any good. Rebound battle for Bell for the Eagles. Tries to pass ahead. Leftwich deflected it right back to back to Banuelos, and Banuelos is able to knock that one down. 54-32, 22-point lead. So Emory and Henry's big advantage is starting to shrink a little bit. Leftwich goes off a ball screen by Monahan. Now to Morgan. Morgan dumps it down low to Looney. I love that play. I guess if Looney's your man, you like it too, where we penetrate, draw the defense, dump it down low to Looney. 56-32, 15 minutes remaining. Man-to-man defense here as Carroll swings it around the perimeter. Jackson takes it in, kicks it out to Carroll. Carroll can't get anything. Now he goes baseline, tries to dump it inside. Instead, he dumps it to Jalen Leftwich, who's going 1-on-2, but he makes a little move, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Leftwich. Well, I don't know. My view was partially blocked, but I don't think there was enough. The way the contact was, the defender was not in the line of flow that Leftwich was, in the direction that Leftwich was going. But nonetheless, it looks like Coach Thompson's asking the same thing. I think he was out of the restricted arc. I just don't think he was in front of the defender. He had a legal guarding position, except not in front of the direction that the offensive player was going. But nonetheless, that's the call. 14:42 remaining. Emory and Henry leads by 24, and it will be the Owls' ball when we return from this media timeout. And other sports action, as I mentioned earlier, Emory and Henry is part of the ECAC, which has over 200 member schools across all divisions, which gives us a place to have sponsored championships and honors and those kinds of things while we're in the transition period, no longer a member of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. For volleyball, sitting next to us at the scorers table, Carly Williams from Bristol was named to the ECAC Division II volleyball team for the month of October. And she will return for an additional season next year as she's going to pursue her master's degree in education. So congratulations to Carly Williams and the women's volleyball team. So 14:42 remaining. Emory and Henry picks up full court pressure, leading by 24, and the Owls have to throw the ball to a streaking post player at the half-court line. That's Bell, who gives it back to Carroll. Carroll being guarded by Antonelli. Now Jackson takes it in, tries to put it up, too strong. Rebound by Jackson, too strong, or tip by Jackson, too strong. Emory and Henry with the rebound. It gets knocked away and tapped over to Adonis King, who lays it in for two. 22-point Emory and Henry lead, 14:14 remaining. Rodriguez with the ball up top, goes off a screen by Ketron, gives it to Ketron on the step out. Ketron's comfortable at the three-point line. He tries to make a little move, floats it off the glass, no good. And there's some kind of warning. What was that warning?
Flopping.
Flopping. So, yeah, as Ketron caught the ball at the three-point line, made a little move and spinned inside before he tried to put the ball up. They called Antonio Banuelos for flopping as the ball boys do a great job mopping up the floor here. 14 minutes remaining, 14:01 to be exact. Emory and Henry picks up full court pressure, leading by 22 points, 56-34. And the Owls get the ball into Jackson. Jackson being guarded by Brown. He puts it up and over Brown and scores it. Rodriguez brings it up for Emory and Henry. Owls in man-to-man defense, picking up some full court. Rodriguez tries to attack. I don't know if the ball got tapped away. What happened there?
Got tapped.
Emory and Henry with the ball on the sideline here as the Owls pick up man-to-man. They do their regular sideline drill, and the point guard steps out and gets it. Antonelli looks to attack, goes off a ball screen by Ketron, hands it over on the left-hand wing to Rodriguez. Rodriguez penetrates, kicks it out to Brown, and Brown finally misses one for the night. Not that we were wanting that to happen, but it did happen. And in transition, Emory and Henry taps it. It goes skying over and out of bounds. 25 on the shot clock as the Owls will have the ball out of bounds in front of their bench. Skip it inbounds all the way over to Jackson. No, that's not Jackson. That's Banuelos. Then skip it back over to Carroll. Carroll trying to make a move on the baseline, walks with it. So another turnover for the Owls. How many is that now, Brandon?
That's 18.
18 turnovers. in less than 27 minutes. So Emory and Henry's defense has caused the Owls some problems. Antonelli sets up the offense, gives it to Brown, right-hand baseline. That's a good spot for him. Goes off a ball screen by Ketron. Looks for Ketron down low. Ketron's too far away from the basket. He gets double-teamed. But as I said, the officials feel sorry for the offense in the double team, and they call the foul on Banuelos. That's his 4th. 2 for the Owls for this half. Out of bounds underneath our basket, 20 seconds. We lob it into Ketron. Ketron gives it back to Antonelli. Antonelli looking inside, doesn't have it. He penetrates, skips it across the baseline. Keene ends up with it on the right-hand wing, and it won't fall for Keene. And the Owls come away with the rebound. That's Carroll with it. Gets Bell at the top. Bell's comfortable with it there. He puts up the 3, but it won't fall. And Emory and Henry battles for it. It goes out of bounds off of Adonis King for the Owls. Under 13 to play. Emory and Henry's lead is now 20. Well, with 13 minutes to play, if we keep up like this, the lead will shrink even more. Antonelli comes in transition, finds Ketron down low. And Ketron gets called for a walk on the catch. So now Emory and Henry's turnovers and woes have begun to grow. Emory and Henry picking up full court man-to-man. Jackson with it being guarded by Brown. Jackson takes him off the dribble and lays it in. I don't think Brown's a match for Jackson's athleticism.
That's Jackson's 4th point.
Antonelli penetrates, kicks it out to Rodriguez on the right-hand baseline. Rodriguez looks for room. He makes a little back move and takes it to the rim. 58-38. 20-point lead still for Emory and Henry, just under 12 minutes to play. Jackson with the ball. He tries to go again, kicks it out to Banuelos. Banuelos takes it in, dumps it down to Jackson. Jackson's too strong off the glass, and Gabe Brown's going to get called for the foul. So the freshman fantasy for Gabe Brown is still living in the first half. Second half has not been quite as friendly to him. So the under 12 media timeout, Emory and Henry goes to the bench with a 20-point lead. 58-38. Anything stand out to you there, Brandon?
Well, it was a good play from Leftwich and Rodriguez in those minutes. Rodriguez with 8 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. And Leftwich filling up his stat sheet, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, but got 3 fouls going for him. Neither teams are, well, Emory and Henry seen 18 shots from deep, and Wilson didn't really shoot the ball like Emory Henry with 10 attempts.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding for the Owls offensively, and Emory and Henry, I think, is offensively getting out of sync. That's what concerns me. It would concern me if I were coaching right now. Yeah, we got a 20-point lead, but offensively right now we're not comfortable. If we had to score right now, I don't think we would know what would work. What do we need to go to? What do we need to do right here? I think we are uncomfortable right now offensively, and I'd like to see us get back to a little more steady movement on offense. Some of it's personnel who probably haven't spent much time playing together, and this is the kind of game where coaches get a chance to try different combinations. But nonetheless, see if we could get some confidence back on offense. Free throw line for Jackson. His first shot is in.
Their team shot 5 for 5.
And second shot goes as well. So now Emory and Henry just has an 18-point lead. 11:46 to play. Antonelli brings the ball up against Zach Carlton and draws the foul. This is Carlton's first action of the game. Tyler Arnold enters the lineup for Emory and Henry, replacing Corey Keene. Antonelli gets it, sets it up. Man-to-man defense here. Antonelli takes it in off the rim, won't fall. And Carlton comes away with the rebound. Carlton crosses over, dumps down low. Now back to the high post. Bell with it from the left-hand wing. He knocks it down. That's just a long 2. So Emory and Henry's lead now shrinks to 16. 11-14 to play. Emory's got to get something going here offensively, and offensively as a team. Rodriguez goes off the ball screen, steps back. That shot's not going to be any good. Oh, well, yes, it was. It went all around the rim and could have fallen off a bunch of different ways, but didn't, and that's got to help Emory and Henry. 61-42 as Jackson takes it in, spin move against Brown. This time he can't take Brown. And Brown gets tied up on the rebound by Adonis King. Possession error favors the Wasps. So 61-42, 10:49 remaining. Emory and Henry getting the big 3 on the last offensive possession. Needs to see if we can get something going offensively. Ball on the right-hand wing to Arnold. Arnold goes off ball screen by Ketron. We swing it around to Brown. Back to Arnold at the top. Gets it down low to Ketron. He's double-teamed. He goes up, floats that one-handed floater off the backboard, and that's good. I like to see that, don't you? Low post action, 63-42. Back to 21-point lead, 10-22 for the Wasps.
Slow it down and feed your bigs.
And as Jackson tries to take it in, he's going to draw the foul. And that's
a foul on Gabe Brown.
So I think
that's a second.
I think Jackson has figured out that he can get enough of a advantage on Brown when he takes it to the rim. Brown doesn't have any choice but to foul him. Shot for DeMarco Jackson. The first one is good. He's a 6'5" senior from Nashville, Tennessee. 10:15 remaining. Second shot is good. So we're down to a 20-point advantage. No, 19-point advantage again. Let's see. Who is this in for the Owls? This guy is also not on the lineup. Keenan Colley, as Antonelli passes ahead to Arnold on the right-hand wing. Back screen, swing over to Brown. Back to Antonelli, left-hand wing. Arnold, right-hand wing. He tries to take it in, finds a backdoor cutter of Brown. It gets kicked out of bounds by the Owls on that, try to feed the backdoor cutter on the baseline. Under 10 to play, Emory and Henry with the 19-point lead with the ball under their basket, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Antonelli with the ball out of bounds finds Brown. Back to the corner. That shot's long by Rodriguez, but Ketron comes away with the rebound, makes 2 moves, goes up and under and scores. That's a great move for Ketron down low, powering over the defender, and around the defender, 65-44. 9.5 minutes. Brown again being guarding Jackson, but this time Carlton tries to take it in, loses the handle. Arnold with it up ahead to Antonelli, thought about the 3, gives it over to Brown in the corner, back to Antonelli, who penetrated and tried to dump it low to Ketron. It got deflected, and the Owls come away with it. And poor Tyler Arnold got tangled up there, and really he just fell into the defender as he got crossed over or crossed up in transition defense, and wasn't really trying to play defense, as gain his balance and fell into the offensive player. That shot's no good by Jackson, hits off the front of the rim. 9:15, I don't know what number's coming to my head. 9:15 remaining, Emory and Henry with the 21-point lead, 65-44. Jackson's second shot does fall.
That's 9 for him.
So Antonelli with the ball, bringing it up. Dribbles to the right-hand wing, tries to get inside. so he can kick it out to Arnold. And as he does, he draws the foul on Keenan Colley. Team foul number 6. Is that right? Maybe just team foul number 4. Antonelli with the ball, goes off catcher and kicks it out to Arnold. Left-hand baseline. Arnold's 3 is strong. But Brown is there for the stick back. No good, but Catron's there on the other side of the rim, and he tips it in. 67-45. Emory and Henry now with a 25-point advantage. Under 9 minutes to play. Again, we've got Jackson trying to take Brown, and he does. This time he kicks it out. It gets deflected away. Pass ahead to Arnold. Arnold, oh, he misses the dunk. Antonelli's there for the follow, and Antonelli gets fouled. That was a nice pass ahead to Arnold. He went in for the dunk. Just didn't have the right positioning or hands on the ball to make that one go down, did he, Brandon?
No. I think he got a little too excited in the moment.
Well, I think everybody got excited thinking it was going to be a highlight. 8:34 remaining. Antonelli's first shot is up and good. 68-45, Emory and Henry advantage.
Yeah, it hasn't, with him scoring 14 last game, only seen one for.
And a second shot by Antonelli. That foul was on Saquon Bell. Emory and Henry half-court man. Arnold guarding Carroll. Carroll takes it all the way to the rim, loses the handle. I don't think anybody hit it. I think he just tried to go up with it, and it was bouncing toward the mats. 8:21, 24-point Emory and Henry lead. Antonelli dribbles left, comes off of double screens at the top, finds Arnold cutting on the left-hand wing. Arnold knocks down the 3. Great offensive call by the Wasps to draw the action away from the wing and feed Arnold there for the long 3. 72-45. Under 8 remaining in action. Bell, Gabe Brown went for the steal against Bell, didn't get it. Nobody picked him up as he went to the rim. They looked at him, but it was sort of like the Matador defense. They watched him go right past him. 72-47, 7:42. Antonelli goes off the 2 screens at the top, looks for a cutter, finds Ketron at the high post. He takes one dribble, that floater hits the front of the rim and rolls in. 74-47. Emory and Henry now has shown some life on offense and a little more comfortable and a little more confident, like we were talking about we would like for them to play. The Owls just trying to find somebody who can take it one-on-one. Oh, there was a nice back cut as Chris Carroll found DeMarcus Jackson. And in transition, the Owls must have been asleep because we pass ahead to Tyler Arnold, who gets behind all the defenders for the easy layup. 76-49, under 7.
Arnold being a microwave.
Swinging around the perimeter. That was Bassett taking it to the rim.
That's Antonelli, second.
I'm having a hard time hearing you. So the under 8, I guess, timeout here, media timeout, shows Emory and Henry now pushing their lead back up to 27. It got down to, did it get to 18? I know it was 19.
It was
18, and we've pushed it back up. I felt like we just weren't doing anything on offense, like we were trying to see what might happen. You know, we weren't playing offense. Just see what might happen here. Let's just see what happens if I take it in, or if I pass it to you and you do something with it. So it looks like a little more teamwork on offense, which has led to better production.
Tyler Arnold definitely gave them a nice boost off the bench. And Catron, yes. 8 points, 4 rebounds.
Yeah, 4 or 5, and he's done it from the, face up, and he's done it from the low block. Mm-hmm. He had that one really great move where he took somebody, up and under and went past them and was strong with the ball. And Tyler's been somebody in the past who I think has been more comfortable facing up than, being down low. And he has made a couple of really strong moves in this second half of action. So Bassett at the free throw line for the Owls. The first one rolls around and drops in. We're at 6:48 remaining in this contest. We'll remind you that the women play Queens College or maybe it's University, let's get that straight, from Charlotte at 4:30. So tune in for that action. And that second shot's good. 76-51. Full court zone press by the Owls, and Emory and Henry breaks it with some crisp passing. Gets the ball up to Looney, who sits Gabe Brown on a streaking cut down the lane, who slams it home. 78-51. Now Arnold guarding Chris Carroll. He passes left-hand wing to Bassett. Swing around the perimeter. Now they skip to the baseline, and that's Bassett. His shot hits nothing, and Arnold comes away with the rebound, looking for a cutter inside, doesn't have it. Antonelli on the left baseline, he takes it inside, kicks it out. That three by Gabe Brown's no good, but Looney's right there for the stick back and draws the foul. That's great. That's the kind of offense I love to see. We're playing inside out. So that time we got the ball inside by Antonelli penetrating. He skipped the pass to the wing, and then he got the shot from there, put it up, and Looney's there for the stick back to clean it up. That's a great way to draw the defense away and open things up. So under 6 to play, Emory and Henry leads 80-51. Let's see who's on the floor for the Owls. They just sent in a bunch of substitutions. You don't even have the right lineup. Let's see. So they still have Chris Carroll, Adonis King, number 14, 3 Banuelo, Bell with the ball on the left-hand wing. Emory and Henry playing man-to-man. Now over to Jackson. Banuelos on the left-hand wing. Back up top to Carroll. The acrobatic shot by Carroll won't fall. It gets batted out of bounds by Jackson. Full court. Some full court pressure. Well, not really. Under 5.5 to play. Emory and Henry's lead is stretched to 30. And a bunch of subs in for Emory and Henry as well. That's Jake Morgan in the corner. We feed it to Jake. Jake's three bounces off the back of the rim. No good, but Emory and Henry comes away with the rebound. Leftwich is able to take a couple of dribbles and lay it up off the backboard. 83-51, 5:10 remaining. Emory and Henry with the comfortable lead now as we're playing man-to-man in the half court. That's Carroll. He gives it up to Jackson. Jackson's been their main threat, but that one won't fall for Jackson. Pass ahead in transition. Kick it out. Anthony Williams gives it to Gabe Brown, and Gabe Brown had his back to the basket as he laid that one up. That's a new look on the reverse layup. 85-51, 4.5 to play, Emory and Henry's lead. Moving the ball around the perimeter, and that's going to be Bell for the face-up shot, no good. And Emory and Henry comes out with the Leftwich in transition, takes it all the way in, kicks it out to Anthony Williams. Williams' three is gonna fall. So 3 points for Anthony Williams in transition. Here comes the Owls. And just like that, Adonis King with the 2-point answer. 4:05 remaining, 88-53 is the Emory and Henry advantage as the Woffs send up some more subs. Get everybody in action. Leftwich goes off a ball screen by Williams. Williams step out. Williams three. That's 2 in a row for Williams.
Feeling himself.
3 points by 6-point total and 2 possessions for Williams. Chris Carroll with the ball being guarded by Gabe Brown. He tries to find a cutter, and it's tapped away by Jake Thacker. And up ahead to Williams. That's 8 points in 3 possessions for Anthony Williams coming in off the bench, padding those bench points in this game. 93-53, 40-point advantage for Emory and Henry. Was what, 18 did you say? Yep, that's offensive spark has been great.
Come on, gotta move her feet.
So Adonis King tries to take it in. And the foul's going to be called on Anthony Williams. So 3:12 remaining with the media timeout here at the King Center. Emory and Henry now stretches their lead 93-55 in tonight's contest. Emory and Henry with 3 timeouts remaining. That's the final timeout for the Owls. And Emory and Henry will have some subs entering the game, which I assume that means everybody that's eligible for action will be in action before this night is over. And if we could get everybody to score, it'd be even better. 3:12 remaining. That's going to be a difficult challenge unless we run a lot. The story of the last 2 minutes, though, has been Anthony Williams, who went from 0 to 12. He went to 0 to 12 in 4 possessions. Anthony entered the game, hit 2 threes. He's hit 4 free throws and is 3 of 5 for 12 points.
So shooting.
Well, you know, you don't score like that, though, if your team's not playing offense together. And that's the big difference from when we were struggling and hovering around the 20-point margin. I had a fear that if we didn't get things settled offensively, they were just going to keep little by little slicing into that, and we'd get to a point where, you know, suddenly if you have a 12-point lead and you need to score, you've forgotten how. You know, you're not comfortable and nothing's working for you, and the pressure gets pretty big. And Emory and Henry's offense, I think, has been, I mean, it doesn't hurt that we've had transition offense as well because of our defensive deflections, but nonetheless. So at the line for the Owls is Adonis King. That first shot's too strong, and the rebound by Russ Williams. Russ is a 6'6" freshman from the Isle of Wight, Virginia. Up ahead to Morgan on the right-hand wing. Back to Morgan. He looks down low, and on the feed to Russ Williams, Williams is going to draw the foul. So Russ Williams goes to the free throw line in his first action as an Emory and Henry Wasp. Russ, a lefty. Oh, it's too strong. Almost tipped in by Bell from the other team.
Was it 65% free throw shooter?
Carlton brings it up, gives it to Bell. Hands over to Mendez, and Mendez gets it to go. Thacker sets up the offense, being guarded by Carlton. Now gives it to Russ Wilson at the top with his back to the basket. Now Thacker brings it back, goes off, tries to find it inside to Wilson, can't. Anthony Williams with it, takes it inside. His acrobatic layup won't go. Rebound by the Owls. That's Carlton. Carlton puts it up, and Russ Williams used all 6'6" and some ups to send the volleyball spike of that shot into the front row of the bleachers over there. 23 on the shot clock, 2:15 remaining, 93-57, Emory and Henry's advantage as the Owls swing it around the perimeter. Bell being guarded by Wells. Can't put it up and kicks it out. Now inside to Mendez, and he scores it. Oh, and an attempt to pass ahead. Jake Thacker can't quite get the handle on it. He was trying to pass ahead on the right-hand wing to Jacob Morgan. Morgan, the 6'6" freshman from Huntersville, North Carolina. and it went out of bounds into the Emory and Henry bench. Under 2 minutes now, Emory and Henry 93-59. Stay tuned after the game. We'll speak to at least a player, maybe also Coach Thompson, but we'll give you a game recap as well. Owls passing around the perimeter. That's Mendez with it. Back over to Carlton. Carlton takes an inside spin move, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it up, no good. Tapped out. Jake Thacker can't track it down. It's going to be Emory and Henry ball on the last touch by the Owls. Thacker being guarded by Mendez. 122. 93-59. Thacker walking it up. Wells at the high post catches it. Looks for a cutter, gives it back to Thacker. Thacker tries to get it inside, does, takes it all the way to the rim, can't get it to go. Rebound battled for, tapped back in by the Wasp to the Owls. And that's Carlton takes it up and draws the foul for Warren Wilson. Well, unless something goes terribly wrong here in the last 1 minute, I'm going to go ahead and say that Emory and Henry's going to come away with their first win of the season as they lead 93-59. First shot up by Carlton, it bounces around and falls for the Owls. One minute remaining. Second shot is also good by Carlton. Carlton's a 6'2" freshman from Forest City. He's a redshirt freshman. Thacker with the ball for Emory and Henry. He attacks. He got fouled there, but they're not calling that now. And then he takes it up to the rim. They're going to have to call that one. So as he tries to put it up off the glass, he gets fouled by Hartbarger, a 6'7" freshman from Franklin, North Carolina. So Jake Thacker goes to the free throw line. Jake's a 6'1" freshman guard from nearby Abingdon, Virginia, and his first free throw is up and good, making the score 94-61. And the second one's good. So under a minute now, 45 seconds to be exact. Emory and Henry's going to enjoy this lead and this win as Carlton's being guarded here, and everybody for the Wasps got in on the action. Carroll with the ball. Thacker trying to get the tap away, can't get it. Scrambling and causing some issues to the Owl offense. Emory and Henry's reserves playing great defense here, causing troubles. And that shot off by Mendez is no good. Rebound, and that rebound by Morgan. Morgan's going to lay it up for Thacker, and now Emory and Henry coaches are instructing their players to pull it out in basketball's version of the victory formation, as the crowd here gives it almost an unenthusiastic golf clap. I don't know what got into them if they think winning is so boring, but 95-61 is the final here as Emory and Henry now rises to 1-1 on the season. Every Wasp saw some action today, and we'll recap that. If you want to go get our player of the game, well, they're going to go to the locker room first, but go ahead and tell them who we want, and we will talk to them after they return from the locker room with their teammates. So we'll give you some rundown of stats here. First of all, for the visiting Owls, DeMarco Jackson ended up leading scorer for the Owls, 4 of 9 from the floor, 5 of 6 from the free throw line with 13 points.
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay. And, hey, go in the office there and get a mask, too, if you don't mind. They're right in front of the table there. Sorry. We want Gabe, yeah. Also for the visiting Owls, number 14, Adonis King, ended up with 11 points, going 5 of 5 shooting, 1 of 1 from the free throw line with 3 rebounds. Chris Carroll, number 10, he was all over the place this evening with 5 rebounds, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from 3 for 10 points on the evening. Jerry Day, who saw, I don't remember Jerry even playing in the second half. He was their impressive player last year when we played them. He was 3 of 7 for 8 points and 3 assists. Also scoring were Bell with 6, Ledbetter with 6, Mendez with 4, Carlton with 2, Bassett with 2, and seeing action but not scoring Jackson, Whiteside, Hartberger, and Coley. For Emory and Henry, as we erupted on his every shot in the first half, Gabe Brown, the 6'5" freshman from Clintwood, Virginia, Ridgeview High School, ends up the afternoon 6 of 8 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists for 18 points. Anthony Williams came in off the bench and was a huge spark in the second half, 3 of 6, 2 of 4 from 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 12 points. Kevin Grau-Rodriguez with 11 points on 4 of 5 shooting. Jalen Leftwich ended up with 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists as the freshman from Lynchburg, Virginia, had a nice outing as well. Dylan Ketron, 4 of 5 from the floor, 8 points. Cade Looney, 3 of 4 from the floor for 8 points. Tyler Arnold, 3 of 6 for 7 points. Malcolm Morgan, 3 of 6 for 6. Jake Thacker, 6 points. Antonelli, 6 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Jake Morgan with 3, Micah Banks with 2. Also seeing action but not scoring, Connor oh no, I'm not going to say his name right. I'm sorry to his mom and dad. Othit, maybe. Jake Monahan, Corey Keene, and Russ Wells all saw action for Emory and Henry. You want to run down some of the team stats, Brandon, as he's shuffling all the thousands of papers we have here?
Yes.
And we'll remind you, too, that the women's action will begin at 4:30 here on WEHC, as well as on GoWasp.com. We'll be streaming that game as well. Brandon?
Emory and Henry had they shot 54 from the field. Not too well from the 3 with 30%, but free throws, 83%. I think that was pretty good of them making their free throws throughout the game. They definitely cut the turnovers from last game to this game.
Well, and you know, when early on our turnovers were killing us. And do you have the halftime stats still? I was going to look and see.
Yes.
They took mine. Yeah. Go ahead with what and I'll look up what I'm looking at.
They converted off of turnovers, 29 points off of turnovers. They out-rebounded them 34-26. Out-assisted them 21-11. That's really good. 13 steals. And the bench,
Whoa.
65 bench points to 19. Definitely got there on the second chances. 16-9, and then points in the paint as well, 56-32, and then they got out there on the fast break, 26-12.
Yeah, and if you look at one thing that coaches like to look at, if you look at the number of assists, we had 36 made baskets. 21 of those came off of assists. So you like to have, you know, that just indicates how much team play you had going on. What I was trying to look at was first half turnovers. We had 6. Second half we had 6. And I thought early on in the second half we got to 11. I was trying to see, we played turnover-less ball for a great period of that second half. And when you're playing different combinations like we were and a lot of substitutes, sometimes it just turns into a lot of turnovers and sloppy play and all that. And that's a great indication of the confidence the players have, how well they are being coached, and how disciplined they are that they took care of the basketball when you're playing with some unusual, combinations in there. And I like to see when you put in some substitutes, but you leave some of your, more experienced players in there with them to give them a chance to to be comfortable on offense, to stay in control and be able to execute and do things well together. Yeah, but Emory and Henry, and of course, 95 points, that's one thing. A 34-point advantage, and doing it the way they did it makes for a fun evening for the Wasps. Let's see, we're still waiting for the players to return from the locker room. Oops, I've already told you about the women's game after this one. The next men's game will be next Friday evening when the men take on the Eagles of Pensacola Christian at 6 o'clock.